Dear friends, it's day 877 of the unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine, and I have a really important message for you guys. Everything you know about the United Nations chapter, internationally recognized borders, and all that nonsense about the international legislation designed to keep countries from killing each other, you can just throw it in the garbage right away. The true law is the law of the ancient Babylon, according to the Russia's Dmitry Medvedev, former president of Russia, currently serving as a deputy chairman of the Security Council of the Terrorist Federation. In his recent speech, he said, quote, "The laws of ancient Babylon and India, as well as the Old Testament and the Quran, give Russia the right to use nuclear weapons against its adversaries in the West." End of quote. You see, when your country violates so many international laws adopted by the whole world, so even your president receives an international arrest warrant, the only thing you can do is refer to ancient manuscripts to justify your crimes. Next thing Russia must do, according to the ancient Babylon, is adopting freaking slavery. Otherwise, Medvedev should probably stop making statements while being trashed. Medvedev is known in Russia for making nuclear threats against the civilized world, and basically this is exactly the way the nukes are designed to work against people. Of course, Russian elites will never hit American or European cities with nuclear weapons for a simple reason, because they don't want to kill their children living and studying there. Famous Russian actor Akhlabystyn destroyed all sorts of bullshit about the existential threat of NATO expansion by admitting that the Russians simply want to remove the Ukrainian identity.
Украина не должна существовать, но это не значит, что мы должны уничтожить украинцев. Это логичная часть нас. У меня товарищ есть англичанин, он говорит, ну слушай, я не могу различить русского от украинца. Чем они отличаются? Я говорю, ну ничем вообще. Украинцы те же самые русские, просто нацисты.
According to this prominent representative of the Russian chauvinism, there is no place for Ukraine because this is what the Russians decided. It's either we are assimilated with Russians or we are Nazi. Free European Ukrainians is not even an option. Apparently, Akhlabystyn was also inspired by the ancient Babylon, or he just simply a freaking alcoholic like Medvedev. Now, I prepared a small sanity test for all the MAGA people out there. I know that it might hurt a bit because it mimics the Russian narratives. That's why I beg your pardon in advance. So, there is an opinion that Mr. Trump should have negotiated with the shooter in order to avoid escalation. I know that it blows your mind, but please stay with me. His snipers were packed with weapons which only led to unnecessary victims among civilians. Instead, Mr. Trump should have peacefully resolved the conflict with the shooter, who only was misunderstood and threatened with his possible presidency. Now, because that's exactly the same kind of nonsense Ukrainians are hearing for 877 days straight, if you feel like throwing a slipper in my face right now after all that rubbish, congratulations, test passed. Now you feel like every Ukrainian does. Such narratives as Russia is not the enemy, they were misunderstood, you must negotiate peace with the attackers shooting your people, that is exactly the same sort of outrageous bullshit. There is no doubt that the shooter got what he deserved and the security did a good job, because evil must be punished. That's why there is absolutely no difference between crooks shooting Mr. Trump and a Russian attacker shooting a Ukrainian. If you support Trump, you must support Ukraine, because at this very moment, the whole Ukrainian nation is facing absolutely the same lethal threat, and the only way to protect people is to make sure that Ukrainians have all necessary measures to defend against the Russian attackers. With that, my friends, I wish you all a beautiful day. Please share your opinions in the comments. I'm Operator Starsky. As always, be safe.